my name is Sylvia. I'm a fashion and portrait photographer based in London in Peterborough. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. Feel free to subscribe and like this video. So today I would like to talk how I start my photography. So I came back to my childhood. I love drawing. I always draw people. I don't know why. But I always was fascinated about the human proportion, human faces. I always love to draw faces, especially. I love it, always the details about the eye, eyelashes, everything, hair. And unfortunately, as a teenager, because my childhood was quite hard, I had no opportunity to develop my drawing talent and my drawing skills, but I always wanted to find a way to my artistic expression. So I've been start thinking about photography, and because it's I just wanted to put the vision from my head into the image. Because I couldn't do with my drawings, because also even if I try drawing with myself, even with a simple pen, pencil and paper, I wasn't happy with the results, because there wasn't look like I wanted to look like in my head. So I started thinking about the photography. That day that time we have first like digital cameras, very compact, cheap cameras. But my dad get one of those, and I started using, and I started taking self-portraits. And also I found like not very legal Photoshop version somewhere on the internet, and I start having fun in the Photoshop. So come back to it later. Like I knew it, I want to do photography. So there is a thing where I can take a picture and edit in Photoshop, so it's look like the vision from my head. And unfortunately, because I was still in school, I couldn't afford a camera. And that was really not reachable at the moment, even if I finished my school and I was staying in Poland, and I had to work for like a year to get my camera. So after that I had the opportunity, my friend was able to borrow the camera for me. I was super happy. However, because the camera was Sony Alpha 200, and it comes with a little bit of old vintage lenses like Zenith, like Takumar and Helios. Those lenses were very hard to shoot with, because I needed to manually focus. I need to set up everything manually in my camera, and like a very beginner, it was very hard to do it. However, I educate how to get the right exposure. I learn about ISO, aperture, lenses and everything, all this basic stuff. And because I had to shoot manually, there was no other option for any auto mode or any portrait mode, nothing. I had to shoot manually. So because of that, I was able to progress myself quite quickly to get to know those basic, and how to make my picture, how to get my picture with the right exposure. So I start taking friends for portraits. However, it was hard. I had to shoot manually. Obviously, I could take only about 200 pictures, no more, because so I could shoot in JPEGs or in RAW. I found the RAW files are much easier to actually edit later, so I shoot like 200 images, so I had to be very cautious when I taking pictures. I couldn't take lots of them, and I had to take time focus, to make sure the focus is in the right place. Focusing manually wasn't easy. However, I learned how the lens work, which is actually was very, very helpful for my development. And later on, after some shooting, I took some friends. Maybe I can show you a couple pictures here. There was one particular shoot which I really like, even from now, which I done on sunset, and I was all about the bokeh, the blurry background, the sunset, and natural light a moment, and then nature. As I come from village, the nature was for me very, very, very nice. So later on, I decided to move to UK. I moved to the city, which was very. I'm still here. However, which is very ugly to me. And for my first monthly payment, my dreams come true, and I get my first camera, Pentax. I wanted to have Pentax that day because it was the best camera to use with those kind of vintage lenses. I just find love in those vintage lenses. I wanted to more of them. For my next month, for my second monthly payment, I get the lens. It was 50mm 1.4, and camera was focusing actually. It was autofocus on that lens, and I was, wow, this autofocus is so great. However, I'm in a city which I didn't know anyone, I didn't have any friends here. I had to work hard every day, and maybe I had done some like family shooting, like some kids shooting and stuff. However, I haven't shot much for the 5 years. From age 20 till age 25, I hadn't shot anything. And in age 25, I was like deciding, I don't want to be 50 years old and work where I work in the warehouse. I decide to become a fashion photographer professionally. That's why I get the second camera, which was Sony Alpha. I changed the system totally, and I can say now it was a good decision. I love Sony cameras. Even this was my first camera with I shoot it. Maybe that's why. But however, it's great. It's mirrorless. I love mirrorless cameras for several reasons. And I get some lenses with it. I get 50mm 1.8. I get 35mm 2.8 lens, and I was so happy. And then I found someone on this. I set up my Instagram account, my photography. So I post some old pictures there, maybe some self-portraits on it. And I found a girl from my city. She wasn't very modeling, but she was a blogger. So she needed pictures like quickly. I wanted to practice, so I shoot with her a lot. And because of that, I practiced a lot. I built my skills, and I shoot. I was in the most important. I was just keeping shooting. Then after that, I get into Facebook groups. I find better models. I set up my website. I get my MacBook, where I can finally editing. I did start publishing, and I'm the point now where I'm doing like photography part-time. My big dream is to do it full-time. That is slowly coming. Unfortunately, due to the COVID, I couldn't shoot for a year, so I lost a year. And I'm looking so much into the future. And last thing which I wanted to say, like maybe there is something which you always wanted to do. It's always on back of your head. Maybe you hate your job. Maybe you want to start something. Start it with small, simple steps. Maybe gonna take years, but maybe one day you will just become full. You will do what you want to do in your life. I always say, turn your passion into the work, and you will never have to work again, which is so true. And I'm glad I decided, and I did it, and I'm grateful for the point where I am now. I'm also now I can do better, and I can and I will progress even more because that journey is so satisfying. It's so interesting, and I love it. So if you have any dream, make it come true with little steps. I hope my journey inspire you a bit. If you have any more questions, feel free to comment down below. I'm happy to answer. Maybe you want to. Do you want to request any video? I can do it for you. Maybe you want to more details how I start working with a makeup artist, stylist, and models. I'm happy to do it. And thank you for watching. Also, check my description down below. There's a coffee one. You can support me with little money to support this channel. You can subscribe to my newsletter to get a free ebook. And thank you for watching.